And we are sharing the stream now. And Rob, I think we are online. Good deal. All right, let's go ahead and I'm doing a little social media blast over here. Let's do what do I usually do? 5 minutes of pre-show.
Works for me. I haven't been on for a little while, but I've been traveling a lot.
Oh yeah, no, you've been working. Shame on you for going to work, sir, instead of sitting around waiting for an Ace of Vegas live stream. What kind of fan are you?
Oh, I'll work on it, man.
All right, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're doing well over here. Let me put this up on the channel too. A little surprise live stream for everybody. Semi regular live stream. So we'll get that in there. Let's get it into the notifications so everybody knows. Yeah, so we'll get started. When's your next Vegas trip?
Probably end of May, early June.
End of May, early June. Good deal. Yeah, might have to, if you're going early June, might have to hit you up.
Okay. Yeah, my company's supposed to have like 30,000 people in town first week of the month.
Nice.
And I've got a Sahara Las Vegas ad on the podcast.
Oh, look at that. I think they found me. Oh, Justin's in the house too. In case Justin was actually on the show when I came back too. And that's our Justin from the MyVegas group. Oh yeah, and you're already a moderator. Awesome, that's great. I forgot about that. I think we did that way back in the day, because you were talking about articles, and we're like, you know what? Let's put you in as a mod. We need you. Nice. All right, people are already disappointed with Wynn Slots. Come on, Rob, get it together, man. People are disappointed with that Wynn Slots app. That of course, that you have nothing to do with, but you're definitely in charge of.
Yep.
We should probably talk about that on the show too. See what people think.
Yeah. I mean, really, if I had any say in the matter, there'd be a few people would have gotten booted out a year ago. And I would have taken their gems, but no, definitely. I've had to work my way up to 25K slowly.
Always. Oh, I guess I gotta public my posts here. All right, so what if I put it on? So we're public there. So did YouTube. I didn't actually tweet this out, and I gotta put it on the Facebook page and in the Facebook group now that I have a Facebook group. We'll have to talk about that during the show.
Yeah.
Now then.
I'll add it to the post in the Wynn group.
Oh, there you go.
If I can find the thing.
And I gotta find the Ace of Vegas group. This is so... Alright, the whole first 5 minutes is just us trying to find people, and then people are waiting. Vegas Blackjack and Slots App 2 week, up to 60K. Oh, yeah, Tony, you're gonna be rolling in comps, brother. You're just gonna be in on it. It's gonna be great. You're gonna have a great time. Oh, it's going to actually ask me if I want to be Ace of Vegas or if I want to be me on my post for my group. That's so bizarre.
Yeah. I run into that in my car club. There are times when I can't even reply as myself, and there are things I don't want to reply as the car club. Because the car club doesn't own a car.
Right.
I do.
There you go. We know that, the really weird thing is I had to actually approve myself to join my own group.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have to approve myself to join I can't be in my own group. It's that exclusive. I can't even join.
Yeah, because the group is owned by your page.
Oh, that's
not
probably
by your
why.
Personal account.
Right, gotcha. That's like you buying a bank, then that bank owns your house. It's so bizarre.
Yep.
All right, let me see. So I got oh yeah. So I got to tweet this out. I got to find my social media. There's the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All right, here it is. I put it on Twitch. Slick's asking, I feel like the app is not giving enough coins to keep going. Oh, no worries. That's why we go to MyVegas Advisor if you're looking for the MyVegas app. Wynn Slots, though, that's another story. Although, I think, Robert, you were getting some exclusive chips for a little while, too, right?
Yep, we had some that the game team gave us.
Oh.
For the... for the 1 year anniversary, about 1.35 million free chips.
Nice. That's actually pretty awesome. And then the green check mark, not really. The only way to avoid the green check mark is by making a purchase in the store. I'm not sure how large it has to be. I've heard some people say it's as low as $20. I've heard some people say it's as high as like $60. So that might be a thing. Alternately, just move on to another game. My Konami Slots, Pop Slots is great too. MyVegas Blackjack, and if you still have chips at the end of it, once you hit the green check mark, quit playing. That's all I recommend. Looks like we got a pretty healthy audience here. You ready to get this party started?
I'm ready.
All right, well, here we go. We're back on in 3, 2, 1. And welcome back, my spinners and sharks. It's Ace of Vegas here, and I hope you're doing well. And welcome back to the hashtag Vegas podcast. And I'm joined with the head admin of Wynn Slots Tips and Tricks, Robert. Robert, say what's up to people.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, good deal. And Robert, I think you started a travel channel too, but I couldn't find the link to it. Can you message that to me so I can put that in the description box too?
Yeah, I will.
Or
It's a little bit idle right now.
Let's put it in the live chat over there. Let's just go ahead and drop it in there. You're a moderator. You can drop links in there. All good stuff. A little self promotion.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that.
All right, cool. And while we're working on that, let's go ahead and talk about today's show. So, guys, lots to talk about today. First things first, I wanted to go ahead and do a little housekeeping and thank you guys for continuing to share the videos and like the videos and comment. Because of your hard work, we've actually made it to 4,000 subscribers. So, Team 4K, Ace of Vegas is officially in 4K all day. I love it. That's all the jokes I have about 4K. But no, seriously, love you guys. Greatest community. Just Ace of Vegas community is best community on YouTube, period. I don't care what anybody else says. Because I'm right.
You are.
Definitely. And also, too, I wanted to bring some of that community back to Facebook, too. So, also in the description box below, if you guys go check that out, you can join the official Ace of Vegas Facebook page. Not just the Facebook page, but the official Facebook group. So now we can all talk to each other, and you don't have to wait on me, responding to a comment. If somebody actually has an answer to it, they can be like, oh, yo, we got that. And then you guys can talk about things, show us some other great Vegas deals and all that. I can't be everywhere at once. I can only put out 2 or 3 videos a week. So this is a great place to get your voice heard, just FYI. There are 12 people. Oh, there you go. I think we had more people jump in there. Looks like Alma just joined in. Welcome aboard, Alma. So good stuff. All right, awesome. And let's go ahead and get into today's topics. But first, before we do that, I wanted to go ahead and introduce our co-host.
My graphic arts skills there, as you can see on the screen there. But in addition to being a travel and tech blogger and a technical solutions architect for a Fortune 100 tech company, I'm also the guy who started the Wynn Slots Tips and Tricks group about 13 months ago this coming Tuesday.
Yep. Even though some people have been in there for a year and a half.
I heard that today.
That was pretty intense. I had no idea that was possible.
Yeah, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, but I've never run into actual time travelers in the group until today.
There you go. Always good times. So no, that's really great. And that's actually where I spend a lot of my time too. So if you guys can't find me on Facebook or on YouTube for whatever reason, I'm probably hanging out there if I'm not hanging out in the MyVegas Slots group, or it's also a Vegas solo group that I like to go to now that I've kind of gotten into solo trips too. But definitely go ahead and check out that Wynn Slots group in the description box below. I know we're going to be talking about Wynn Slots a little bit. I know a lot of you aren't super happy about it, but there's some really great people in there and there's some really great information. So just want to go ahead and put that out there. So hate on the game, don't hate on the group. Group is a great place. All right, and we got lots of great people coming into the chat. We got TU and Steve in here, Cris, Anthony's in here. Just what's up, guys? Great audience. Great to see everybody in here and popping in. Robert, let's go ahead and get started on the first topic. You all ready, my man?
I'm ready. I'm in the habit of trying to answer questions in 2 or 3 different windows. So right. I may have to let the chat go a little bit here, but
no worries.
Ask me your questions, Bridgekeeper. I'm not afraid.
There you go, all day. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about casino games. So we're all basically here. I started the channel, you started the group because we like to go to Vegas and we like to go for free or as physically close to it as we definitely can. So, and, MyVegas kind of started the whole, they started all this gangster stuff 2012. They've been going on nearly 8 years now. And they kind of had a little monopoly for a little while too. And now there are all these other apps that have popped up. There's been Wynn Slots, there's been Four Queens, there's been Binions, if we're talking about the big ones. There are other spin-offs too, MyVegas Blackjack, my Konami Slots, Pop Slots, of course, which I personally think is the most fun out of all of them, right even above MyVegas Blackjack. And then there have been some other ones that didn't go so well. There was My Konami Lucky Life, or no, excuse me, My Vegas Lucky Life. There was also Comp City, and depending on who you talk to, Caesars and Wynn didn't go so well, Station Play. But there are all these apps out here. What do you think? I mean, what do you think the fascination is with these apps now?
Well, I think, if you watch any of the Vegas travel groups, you see that a lot of people are getting to the airport and they're already looking forward to their next trip and they want to take some piece of the experience home.
Right.
So I think that having that experience on their phone, on their tablet, sometimes on their PC, kind of helps them feel like they're still connected to Vegas, even though they may be, back in Australia or something like
Right.
that.
Or Germany.
And
Germany is actually a really popular place in here for some reason.
yeah, and I see that I need to come up with more Monty Python
Let's do
references
it
from the
all
chat.
day.
Yeah, but I would say that the first thing is getting the experience, and in some cases, the reason I play Binions and Four Queens mostly is to practice my poker,
Yeah, that's a good way to
because
do
I'm
it.
not all that great at it, and I can't get my honey or my daughter to play with me, so I play on the phone, and if I happen to get some bonus stuff out of it, that's great. There's a bunch of casino games that have no tangible rewards whatsoever. I play scatter slots. I play what's the other one? Gambino slots and
Right.
stuff like that. I used to play the Margaritaville game, and just being able to get that feel of being in Vegas, maybe with a little bit less smoke and a little bit less exposure to people coughing and sneezing and
Right.
spilling their beers. It's something that really draws people in, and a lot of people find it useful to spend money to advance themselves in the game, even if there's no rewards. There's people spending hundreds of dollars on Gambino, for example, and it's not tied to a casino, it's not tied to a hotel,
Right.
and it's just just something that's hypothetically fun. But anytime they change something, their group goes haywire, and there's no benefits to it other than just playing or being addicted or whatever it may be.
Right. Yeah. That was always kind of an interesting thing because the way I kind of figured it, it seemed like it was the sort of thing to kind of draw in my generation. Now, to ruin this and get rid of half of my 4,000 subscribers, I'm a millennial. That's what it is. That's just when I was born. Not much to do about that, really. But I kind of feel like because we don't gamble as much, just as a group, we don't gamble. We don't like being inside or anything like that. Tom Vu did not expect the Spanish Inquisition over here. Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of feel like it really kind of targets my generation a lot, and it works though. Just on the merit that I don't gamble unless there's real incentive, unless I really feel like I'm getting something out of it, unless I feel like I can win. So games like this, it really kind of feels like a test of skill more than anything else, and kind of working the system and beating the system, and it feels really good. So that's why I like to do it personally. I've tried other apps. I tried the Caesars app, and I did a video on that. I think you guys all saw the video I did on that, and if you haven't, I'll have to drop it in there. Dan, what's good? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's just Justin's not a big gambler either. But no, just in general, it's not a big thing, and I didn't like the Caesars app because it didn't offer any real rewards. I tried the Station Play app, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty well put together app when it worked. It had a lot of variety. It just did, when it physically functioned, it was great stuff. I just didn't have a reason to play it, so I dropped off pretty much immediately, and it was a shame. I mean, even Terribles had some rewards to it, but so I'd rather play Terribles, which is a pretty bad version of Binions compared to this well put together Station Play app, just because there's nothing for me there.
Yeah, I didn't get into Terribles because some of the descriptions I saw made it sound like it was pretty much a gas station loyalty program.
Yeah, that's what it turned out to be. I was pretty disappointed. I jumped in there. I'm like, okay, so maybe I can just go ahead and run this in the background while we're doing something else, and I'll get some stuff for like the Terribles casino in Vegas. But no, it's for the gas stations, which saddened me. So it's just like that.
Yep.
So yeah. What do you think they're? Yeah, what do you think they're? So you think they're planning to just kind of give them that taste of Vegas? That's why people do it. So why do you think some of them are having so much trouble sticking around? Like Comp City, I think it was, what's the name of that poker player? Anthony, the one, Anthony Curtis.
Yeah.
because he put that whole thing together, and he was like giving away Las Vegas advisor memberships and things like that. And he stopped doing that, and he shut the game down pretty recently. I think it was about this time last month, probably about February 15th. He did it.
Yeah. Yeah. I get the feeling that was a one-trick pony sort of app.
Mm.
And once you get the book for a year, there's nothing really drawing you back until the next year.
Right. Well, admittedly, they did have a couple cool rewards. You know what I really wanted to get? The Super Stay, where you got to hang out with Anthony Curtis and have the night at Palms at the high-end room or whatever. And I think it was like 60,000 hats or tickets or whatever the hell it was. I can't remember what it was. It was something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I think I had like 70, so I wasn't looking to meet him on that in any chance.
Oh, I so wanted to go hang out with him, but it was just one of those things that didn't happen. Also, MyVegas Lucky Life, that one went under. And that had some pretty good casino backing, because I thought that the Comp City app went under because they didn't have enough casino backing. But it turned out it was from the developer, so that was the thing. But I never really thought about the Comp City app, one, because it didn't work very frequently. There was a whole period where I couldn't get the thing to work until I think I got a new phone, and then it finally started working, but I just didn't give a damn at that point because there was nothing for me in there. And two, just because when it finally started working, there was nothing I wanted in there. So, I don't know. Justin doesn't like Binions as a developer.
Yeah.
I can understand why. It is a little glitchy. It is definitely a glitchy one. But
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think? Some of them fail and some of them stick around. With or without rewards, that was the thing.
Yeah, I think with rewards, obviously the rewards have to be accessible and they have to be things that people want. And we're seeing some of that sort of shift in the Wynn game. We've seen that shift a couple of times in the MyVegas games over the years. They can always tweak the rewards, but for the games that don't have rewards, or like the Caesars games that have useless rewards, I think you get one for in-game purchases in the Playtika games. You get one reward credit for every dollar you spend in game.
Oh, and
And if that's
much
enough
love
to
to
impress
We
you.
Run Vegas, by the way. Good to see you over there. Thanks for the super sticker. So appreciate you guys. Sorry to
Ooh,
catch you off over there. Just
nice.
want to put that out there, Robert.
Oh,
Yeah, go on.
no worries. But I was going to say with the Caesars games, there's not much they do, and you're better off just getting the Caesars credit card if you want to earn reward credits and just spend the money in other games because you get that 1% back in reward credits anyway.
Right.
But for the games like the MyVegas games, they can tweak things. Wynn, Binions, Four Queens, they can tweak what's available to meet their needs to bring new people in or bring old people back.
Right.
So they have a lot more flexibility. I mean, you can still see there's hundreds of people leaving any of these games on any given day,
Right.
but there's also hundreds of people picking up on them. So, when I've dealt with .coms and they talk and competitors say, we took 20 customers away from this other company last month, and the other company says, well, we took 20 away from you. And it's
Same 20
a
customers.
zero-sum game.
Right.
Yep, exactly. And they may bounce back. They may be customers of both. So, probably not many people go to Vegas and only go to an MGM property, only go to a Caesars property, only go to Wynn or Four Queens or Binions or whatever. So it's kind of getting that mind share so that you can get that wallet share. And as long as that works, they're going to keep going. When it stops working, they're going to stop putting the effort into it, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what do you think could really make it stop working, though? Because, honestly, MyVegas has basically been around since I've been able to go to Vegas as a man. Like, you can go as a kid, but it's only when you're 21 and up. When you're a man, you can go to Vegas, and that's really when I started. And ironically, it was also about the same time that MyVegas kind of came out, and I feel like I felt very targeted because it was right for my age range, right for 21, 22, 23-year-old young men and women that were going probably for the first time and probably didn't have a lot of money, and it was a good way to kind of subsidize the vacation. Now that I've grown, I'm coming up on my 30th birthday in about 10 days over here. I've gotten a few promotions at work, made some, got some new certs and all that good type of stuff. A family guy now myself too, established, wife, daughter, all that good type of stuff now. I'm a bit more liquid with the assets, but I still love saving the money. But now that I have that going on, do you think that's going to be like a really necessary thing going forward, especially for guys my age?
I think so. I think there are a lot of people who they watch the movie The Hangover or other things on television about Vegas, but they don't have the exposure or the experience there. And being able to get something free, cheap, buy one, get one, whatever it is, may bring them to Vegas for the first time.
Right.
And the funny thing is, I used to work in mobile gaming years and years ago.
Right.
And a lot of the people who spend the most money are not the millennials, surprisingly enough.
Oh, that actually doesn't surprise me
people
because we like to win stuff. We don't like the pay to win sort of thing too. Those are the guys. We're the types of guys that'll be like, Call of Duty sucks now. It's all pay to win. I don't even want to play anymore. If this guy buys some other stuff, I'm gonna get beat. So I don't even want to play. That's what we all sound like, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard that on the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly people closer to my age. I'm pushing 50 myself, and people who are 40 plus have a lot of spare time, have a lot of disposable income, like that instant gratification in the game, even if it's not instantly translated into Vegas stuff.
All right.
But I think that weekend comp nights. I see Nate and Jess saying, "I wish my Vegas had more weekend comp nights."
Yeah, I can agree.
And by
with
that you mean any. Yeah.
Well, last time I went in December they did, but it's only from it's only for like 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, retirees too. That's true. Yeah, we used to the amount of money that some people spend in these games, even the non-reward ones, is insane. We used to let people in, when we came back from maintenance, the first people we let back into the game were the ones who spent $1,000 a month or more.
Oh wow.
And
$1,000 a month on a mobile game.
Yes, or mobile game or a Facebook game
that's
or
a game console. That's the telly to go with it too. Nice sound system and an extra controller. Wow, I can't.
Yeah,
justify
exactly.
That. A month, Christ. Wow. Yeah, I can't justify
I mean,
that.
there weren't a lot of them, but there were enough that we noticed them, or the people behind the scenes did. I would put like $20 in, and that's pretty much been my budget for my Vegas and for Wynn for a while. Because $20, that's 2 beers at a good brew pub, and I can go without because I've got some here in the office. But it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, I believe that. Ooh, I gotta admit, just thinking about this stuff here. So, do you think this is gonna be essential to keep people? I think it's gonna be pretty essential to keep people in Vegas too. What do you think their plan's gonna be when we have? I think we're getting a little ahead, but with the next real estate bubble that's going to pop or in the next economic downturn, do you think this stuff, do you think we're going to see more of these, or actually just in general, who do you think we're going to get the next great game from, since we have Wynn right now and there's a big open, actually let's put a pin in that. Let's talk a little bit about Wynn Slots over here. Why do you think, let's address the cat in the room. It's pay to win now, and it's a super hard pay to win now. Why do you think they went that route?
I think it's because of things like Egyptian magic having its quirk over Christmas week, and we've seen some things come up that have led them to make adjustments faster than they planned to. I believe.
Definitely.
They weren't planning to make it free for everybody forever. I'm pretty sure. It would be nice if they did, but I understand where they're coming from with that. I think they're going to still keep an eye on who stays with the game, who spends in the game, and they may be getting to the point where they can tie game players to red card players and see what people are doing on the casino floor, or tie it to room charges and see what they're spending on the property. And it might be at some point that comes back and forth.
See, that I actually wouldn't mind, because I still do spend money when I go to MGM. I spend money anywhere I go. If I'm going on holiday, I spend money. That's just how it is. But no, I still spend a fair amount of money when I go to Vegas. Like I'll usually break even or make a little bit of money gambling. No more than like $200 or $300. It's like Egyptian Magic was a game. It used to be really awesome, but then they fixed it because it was bugged. But we'll talk about that later. But no, I'll still spend. Still spend some money when I'm with MGM and all that. Really, and I think it would be a great idea if they could tie it all directly, any spend, to the players' club cards. Just because I'm probably a little more likely to spend more time doing the comps just on the games than I am in the casinos, just because I know, 6-5 blackjack is a thing, and I know it's a bad thing. That's just how that works. Or 1-3-5 craps is also a bad thing compared to 6 and 8 and all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the term.
Definitely.
I don't know. I might have made that up. DJ's not here today to help me out. The craps is his game. I'm a blackjack player. That's just how it is. But yeah, I mean that's and you know what I thought was really interesting too recently, MyVegas, and I'm sure they were planning the update for a while too, but it felt like they really kind of pushed the update, because I'm sure you guys saw they hooked me up some chips so I could check out the update early, which is really cool of them to do. And we had a couple more MyVegas videos come out because of that, so we could check out the update, get the new rewards, and they really kind of pushed that right about the same time that Wynn Slots completely shattered my most recent how to play guide. And I'm also working on another guide because they're updating every week. I got to make a new damn video about it every single week. I got one coming for Tuesday, and it's killing me. I'm getting sick of making these damn videos. At least about Wynn Slots. At least this quickly.
Yeah, they made 3 big changes in 1 week. When they went to the VIP 3 for booking, when they opened up the calendars to anybody without a active booking. And they extended the calendars for rooms, and now clubs, which are, I really, I know a lot of people think I work for the Wynn or for Torpedo Labs, and that I know about all of this 3 months in advance, or even there's a couple of people who think I control the game, kind of a Murray Head One Night in Bangkok kind of thing for those of you closer to my age. But I didn't know any of that was coming. And the clubs are pretty much useless for most people. I'm guessing there's about 1% of the players who have access, and they don't completely work. Yeah, and everybody wants to know how to get in.
Yeah, so that's another thing too. Yeah, people do. Yeah, that is right. That is a running gag there. People think that you actually work for Wynn Slots, which is so amazing. They ask you why isn't this fixed yet, Rob? Come on, put it together, man.
Yeah.
I know this is the same people that think that I work for MGM.
Yeah, you don't?
As in many,
man.
You figure I say enough nasty things about Jim Murin, which I guess is kind of a moot point now that he doesn't work there anymore. You figure I'd say enough nasty things about him to the point where they're like, oh, maybe he doesn't work like that. Work for those people. Just because. I mean, I probably wouldn't badmouth my CEO on the air if I were me, but little things.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a lot to disagree with my day job CEO about, but the last thing I'm going to do is get in front of 14,000 people and say anything about him, even if I did have anything to say. But yeah, I think some people really need to believe there's a conspiracy out there. And as they say, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
All right, there it is. That's chaos theory. Sorry, that's not a Monty Python reference. That's Jurassic Park all day. We're Illuminati AF around here.
Oh, this is Unix. I've seen this.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Unity, Unix, same thing. All good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I mean, yeah. So who do you think is going to be the next one to kind of take advantage of this then? Since we know what's going on with MyVegas. MyVegas is really kind of pushing and, with Wynn kind of backing off a little bit, Binions is a little stagnant. Who do you think is going to try and take advantage of this next?
So, one of the things, and this is completely pulled out of my butt, it would make some sense if Wynn expanded to cover Boston Harbor, the Encore property out there.
That'd be cool.
Might be a separate game, might be separate themed games within the existing game. There's a lot of people who really want that to happen. I don't expect it anytime soon, but that would be one thing that could get some new interest and sort of spread out their customer acquisition and make the most of the investment they have in the game. There's a lot of room on Fremont Street in downtown for expanding programs there. So you might see some of the classic hotels down there do what Binions and Four Queens have done.
Probably with the same Unity engine. Did I say
probably.
That out loud? You want to be able to tell
Free Slots of Las Vegas will just probably skin it for anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hey, if they're handed them money, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, you don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah. You know what I'd really like to see, honestly, though? You know what I want a Baccarat game. I want a Baccarat game and I want a craps game.
Okay.
I don't know who I want it from. Maybe Treasure Island. I'd be down for that because I like
Uh,
TI. I'm probably one of 3 people that likes TI.
they do have a pretty generous program with the resort fees,
Yeah,
so they've got that going for
yeah,
them.
and they put mini fridges in the basic rooms and all that. I'd love to see that. And I mean, there's so many. Oh, Justin's got a thought there. Is it about the template, Justin, or why they haven't how no other games have popped up? Let's see what he says about that. But no, I really do like TI. I think I think that's where I actually won my first mini jackpot. I put like $10 in on I think it was a Wolf machine there, and then I won like $40 off that, which was cool. I mean, I was like 22 or whatever, and I'm like, oh, cool, this is a pretty good time. So always good stuff. But no, I just love to see them, and I'd love to see what Phil Ruffin's doing with the place. I want him to kind of bring it back, but I always love the spot, and I love it so much that it was super, super hard for me to put it as number 9 on the worst hotels list because I didn't actually pick that. I had people vote for that, so I was like, all right, what's the worst hotel? And people actually wrote in Treasure Island and left it there, and I couldn't just change the poll. There's no choice.
Yeah. You know, it'd be kind of interesting. You know how in the MyVegas games they did a co-promo with Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah. Oh, because he's got his hands in
Imagine,
everything now.
yeah, imagine if T.I., you know where I'm going with this,
Yep.
did a promo with T.I.,
That'd be pretty dope.
launch the new game, have him in it, maybe have him be the Baccarat dealer.
Hey, there we go. That'd be a great one. T.I. Baccarat. Just have it auto-tune every time it says something. Right.
You know, that's what we need in the Wynn Slots game is we need the cats to be auto-tuned.
Oh, there you go.
Candy, chocolate, and cats, or the last game, the one I never make it down to, but I always do well when I play it.
There you go. That's a good one. Yeah, I gotta start reviewing all the Wynn games. Maybe that's what I'll do since the best games in MyVegas series is finally over.
Yeah, and this series will be shorter. There's only 22 games. So.
Yeah, there were only like 40 something when I first started, then ended up being like freaking 87 of them at the end of it because it took me so damn long to get through it.
Yeah, I was impressed when I saw you get to the end because I've seen those keep getting added.
Yeah, and it was just like once I got to the point where I was killing like 4 or 5 a month, and then they just add one a month, and I was finally catching up. So it was good. Then it got to the point where they stopped adding them on the mobile game because I think they started working on the big update for it, and now it looks like the way it looks right now. And I'm done spinning down and counting up the booty in 100 spins or whatever else the hell I say on that. 100 spins on the clock, because how do you put 100 spins on a clock? I don't know. Something wrong with me. I don't know what it is. All right. Well, any final thoughts before we kind of jump over to the next section of the podcast here?
Well, I would just say that I think people are going to stick with the games. A lot of people are, both the MyVegas and the Wynn and Binions and Four Queens. No matter how much some people get pissed off at them, they're still a really good value. And I don't own stock in any company that has a presence in Vegas, so I don't benefit from that.
I might, but it's not publicly traded, so it's cool. We'll talk about that after the show. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Okay. But yeah, I think you're gonna see more new people come in to fill in the people who leave, and some people come back a year later and start playing again, and they're surprised that there's more than 20 games in MyVegas, or there's more than one MyVegas app.
Yep.
So.
And we're gonna be here to take care of them.
Yep.
Just you and me versus the casino industry.
They're outnumbered, man.
A little bit. I'll take the 500 on the left. You take the 500 on the right.
Sounds good. This is Sparta.
Here it came on. Okay, so next, let's talk about if Vegas is even going to be there long enough for us to take the 5. It might not be that many. We might have to get through 5, and then Vegas is going to collapse in on itself. Let's talk a little bit about Vegas. How do you feel about the future of Vegas right now? Because there's some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, I got into Vegas really late in my life. You know, I first went the week before Christmas 2011, so I missed a lot of the classic Vegas experience. I never got shaken up by the mob yet.
Right.
Hopefully, I won't yet.
Yeah.
But a lot of the buildings that everybody knows, I never saw, and I'm seeing a lot of this construction that's finally picking up a bit of speed. I've seen projects start and flounder and shut down and get sold a few times. But I think there's a little bit of fresh air coming in, whether it's Circa or Resorts World across from the Wynn, or the MSG Sphere, which isn't really a casino, I don't think, but it's going to be noteworthy
It's gonna be like a
on the Strip.
what is it? It's a I know what you're talking about. It's like a venue. It's like a concert venue
Yeah,
or something like that.
performing arts location, yeah.
Yeah.
Run by the Madison Square Garden Company,
Yeah.
which is where the name comes from. It's not monosodium glutamate,
Yeah. So
which
it'll
is
be
easy for me to say.
more like Madison Sphere Garden.
Yeah, exactly. But I think what they're going to do, if these projects actually get finished, and some of them are, the Raiders Stadium might open this decade, and some of these hotels are coming up, I think it'll put the other hotel chains and the individuals on notice that they can't just sit there and assume everybody's going to keep coming back to, Luxor or Circus or whatever, that they're going to have to freshen things up. They're going to have to bring in new audiences,
Yeah. Start cleaning it
bring
up a
in
little
new
bit.
attractions. Yeah. Not come up with another show like Run. I don't know if
Oh
I'm allowed to talk about that.
No, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about that. What was wrong with? I'm gonna do a video on this later, but why do you like? What the hell? Like our girl Laura from group met up with her and her husband. While me and the wife were there for Christmas, and I think Justin that was actually down there with us too. Yeah, he was definitely because we all went to NFI. It was a good time, and she was telling me about the Run show because they were supposed to go see it that night. So we had happy hour, then they went to go see it. I think they got the 10:30 show or something like that. And she was just mortified when she came out of there completely. Yeah, so that was the worst piece of circ material that she'd ever seen. And I currently think that most circ shows are a pretty solid 3 out of 5. I don't think any of them are like spectacular. I wouldn't go out of my way for any of them. I know which ones are objectively good. It's just that I don't particularly care for most of them. Like Zumanity is definitely my favorite. And, I mean, I enjoyed Ka. It was fine. I just didn't have enough story. I don't know. There are too many flaws for me. It's good. Should you see it? Absolutely. It's good stuff. I'm hypercritical. So make of that what you will.
Yeah. I think they tried to change too much from their pattern. The first permanent resident show they had was
oh, thanks, Tim. Tim's buying a beer
Disney
for me
World.
for my birthday. Appreciate you, brother.
Excellent. So the first permanent show they did was at Walt Disney World, and it was open for 19 years. And they're coming back with a new show. They finally decided to redo it. But there's a fairly good structure and model for their shows, and that's why they can do a full year of touring with a show, or 5, 10, 15 years in Vegas. I think there's only 1 or 2 shows that have closed in Vegas before Run, and that's just because they adjusted over the years, but they start off with a really strong model, really strong story, and those amazing visuals and the amazing music, and I don't think they really had that as much with Run.
Well, here it was like really violent
and
and unsettling. Like when you think a circ show, it's like it's supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be vibrant, maybe even a little sexy, maybe kind of weird. That's a normal thing for them. And this was apparently like violent. Like Ka had some fighting in it, but it was very choreographed. It was martial arts, so it was very stylized and very kind of it was action violence, not like a super. It was not like Die Hard violence where it's bloody and violent or anything like that. It was more like kind of Power Rangers or Jackie Chan, that sort of thing. Like it's just this is choreographed.
I saw one of the traveling shows here in California. Probably need to start using some of my loyalty points on the MyVegas side for those next trip.
Yeah, do it up, man. I mean, it's a good way to spend a reward, I think. I've got what have I got lined up? I got Fantasy lined up, which I know is a good show. That one I actually enjoyed thoroughly.
I've been there about 5 times, and I follow a couple of the dancers on social media. It's an impressive show, and the comedians are usually good.
Yeah, they're the best part of the show, hands down. I found. So all right, but yeah, we got that stuff going on. They're also talking about charging gamblers for drinks too. Spade just brought that up in the chat too. Like, how do you feel about that? I kind of feel like Vegas is really missing out. Like I feel like Vegas is starting to kind of shoot itself in the foot here, and it's going to lead to its eventual collapse, especially considering how expensive these places are to run.
Yeah, I've I've seen that some of the casinos are doing sort of a play monitoring system, especially at the bars for the video poker, but some other places as well. And I think that makes a little bit more sense than outright charging. Or maybe they start bringing in machines that can print out a drink voucher,
Oh, they did.
and
They
when
have
the
the
waitresses come
robot
by.
bartenders now.
Oh,
Have you seen those?
I've seen the ones that are in the Planet Hollywood mall, but I haven't seen them actually in the casinos. But I haven't been since last
Oh,
summer,
they're pretty
so.
wild. I think they're installing them in Park MGM right now, but it's supposed to. They're actual robot bartenders now, and it pours out the drinks exactly. So it kind of eliminates the
Hmm.
need for bartenders, and they have the ability to even take a Players Club card, so you can swipe your Players Club card if you want to,
Hmm.
and then what it'll base it around your play, and then it'll give you however many tickets or however many drinks you want or something like that. So
That could be. I could see that being interesting. And I could see them expanding some of the features of the machines. Not necessarily the gambling features, but the communication features. I saw some, I think, downtown on Fremont Street, where you could request a beverage from the game itself.
which hotel was
And I
that?
think that might. Well, I think I went into Binions, Four Queens, and Golden Nugget. So it was one of those, and I don't think it was all of the machines.
Just a couple of select
But
ones.
yeah, yeah, Justin. We're not going to talk about the clear beer flu.
We're gonna kind of avoid that. I had a card ready for it. I didn't want to talk about it too much, but since we're on the subject of that thing, between that and the upcharges, I'm getting a little concerned. I think Vegas is definitely going to take a downturn. I don't think it's going to die. Everything is there's always a video out there like Vegas is dead, Vegas is gonna die. I remember who was it, Kelly does her thing, she did one like, oh, Vegas is the worst, Vegas is just dead, nobody wants to go anymore. And I'm like, that's not true. They had like 55 million people come through last year, so it's not, Vegas is not gonna die. This will not kill Vegas. I think nickel and diming is gonna kind of hurt Vegas, but that's well, I'll wait up on towards the end of the discussion to go ahead and put out my 2 cents there. I don't want to influence anybody else's thoughts. So I got the big booming announcer voice. But yeah, where else? I mean, what else do you think they're doing that's gonna really help them out? Because one thing I keep noticing is all these projects, they stall so quickly. Like, how long have we been waiting for the Drew to open up? And whatever happened to Echelon Place? Remember how the Boyds almost went bankrupt building that place? And there was that
Yeah,
happened too, like Genting Group. It's Genting Group. I found out. I looked it up before the show. So Genting Group, they keep having to they've been trying to grand open Resorts World for about 4 years in a row now, and keep pushing it back a year. It's almost done now, but I'm not sure if it's even gonna open. And the last casino that opened up on the Strip, what was it? Lucky Dragon, which was an amazing concept. I mean, I was so hyped for a
yeah.
proper Asian-themed casino for so long, and it was actually going to be authentic, and they had people that spoke Mandarin on site, you know what I mean? And I was like,
And
wow,
it lasted what, 8 months?
it didn't even make it a full year. It went up for sale, I think, February before last. I was talking to the guys at work, and we're like, do we have enough collateral to get $1 million loan apiece? Maybe we can buy it, because it was up on the auction block for $5 million. I'm like, the whole casino and hotel and the license and everything, $5 million? We can work that out. We didn't work that out.
Yeah, and I have a feeling the license wasn't included.
Yeah, it
I know
probably wasn't.
down in Key West, there were properties where you'd have 3 mortgages for a bar. There was a bar, uh, liquor store, and the licenses. And the licenses cost more than the other two combined.
Right.
And I don't know if Las Vegas is as tight on the liquor licenses and things like that. but it wouldn't surprise me if they were.
I believe that they probably are, and for good reason, especially, since it's so tied to the city's economy. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I can't think of anything else that people go to Vegas for other than the casinos and resorts, really.
I mean, people, yeah, it's definitely some of the stuff at the resorts. Now there are other things to do in Vegas, obviously. Like, food is a big thing. Actually, food is a really big thing, but
Yeah.
that's pretty closely tied to the resorts and the casinos. But it's like the food capital of the world, which makes sense because you get all these people that come in with all their money. They really want to capture the whales. Which for you guys that don't know is, the folks that bring in $100,000 a weekend. Not a year, a weekend. So that just really want to come on through and do that. And it's just, yeah, boxing, UFC, that other stuff. But definitely, I'd say, the food is a saving grace, honestly, if they can keep that up. But I just see too many chain restaurants in there now. It's killing me.
Yeah, and some of them, I understand why people want to go to In-N-Out if they don't have it at home. But
Right.
I always cringe when I hear people saying they want to go to In-N-Out because I've had it here for 23 years in California and
See, and
Northern California.
we don't have In-N-Out here in Colorado. It's In-N-Out we don't have. I think they're trying to build one finally, so I can finally check that off my list. But In-N-Out we don't have. We barely got Fat Burger a year ago. A couple years ago. It was a couple years ago we got Fat Burger. And we don't have White Castle too. And I never cared about it when we lived in Brooklyn. Wasn't a thing, wasn't even on my radar. Then we moved to Colorado. It wasn't an option. And then I went nuts. That was a big thing for me. Let's see. I guess also the conventions are nice too, just because there's so many hotels and so much convention space. You can probably get a good deal for conventions.
Yeah, and the thing about Vegas, so I work for a company that does a 30,000 person user conference and a 17,000 person sales conference every year. And the only two places that you can really get enough rooms for that many people at a reasonable price are Las Vegas and Orlando.
Okay.
And Orlando tends to be a little bit humid and spread out a bit more. There were some people when we had our conference there where they were taking a half-hour Uber ride in from a hotel because they just booked up really fast. But I think that's something that Vegas still has, and with them opening the new Caesars convention facility, and I think there's an expansion to the Las Vegas Convention Center as well. It's still a very unique place to get 25, 50. I think next year Oracle is going to have, or later this year, Oracle's going to have 180,000 people or something.
Okay, that's an easy way to get people in there.
Yeah. And on the topic of food capital, by the way, I just want to mention this and out myself as a fanboy, but Gordon Ramsay is getting ready to open his 6th restaurant on the Strip.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an Asian-themed one, right? Around the Wynn?
Yeah. We don't know where it is, but it's called Lucky Cat. And he has one in England right now. And I know he's been opening a couple more Gordon Ramsay steak, and there's a Hell's Kitchen in Reno or Tahoe, which I ought to go check out one of these days. But yeah, Lucky Cat should be opening up. Maybe it'll go into Resorts World.
Yeah, Resorts World would be a good place for that, especially since it's largely Chinese themed, although I hear they're kind of pulling back on that, which disappoints me. I really do miss the theming.
Yeah. Did you ever stay at Mandarin Oriental?
I did not. Well, I didn't stay there. It's really more I went to a friend's party there.
Okay.
I've been to a party
really...
at least at most of the hotels in the Strip.
Yeah, that was really, they had a really good theming there, really great service, good food. Now it's Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah,
and I think it's gone from being the most affordable Mandarin Oriental in the chain to the most affordable Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah, which also works, although that made $400 a night. That's still, for not having a casino and not having any fun distractions on site for me, that's when I just kind of generally tend to pass on. I like to hang out. I like to do goofy things. I like to do different stuff. I feel like, I can get that Waldorf Astoria experience at Brown Palace at home. If I really want to do it like that, I don't have to go anywhere. Like, if I want to do something, I want to do something special, something Vegas-y when I'm out in Vegas. That's why I hate going to Maggiano's and places like that. I will deliberately steer us away from chain restaurants. We're like, oh, honey, can we go to Cheesecake Factory? No, we cannot go to Cheesecake Factory. We have 6 of them in town. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. I hate that. Like, no, we'll go to the exclusive steakhouse. It's probably overpriced. Everything's going to be overpriced here. Let's just go ahead and get something unique.
Yep.
So,
Although one of the good things about Waldorf Astoria is you can use Hilton points there now.
that's another good one. So what do you think's really going to kind of save Vegas? How do you think they're going to bounce back this time? Because it's pretty much a fact. And actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and open this up to the comment section, too. Live chat, comment section down below. What do you think Vegas is going to do to save itself? But, Robert, let's go ahead and talk on your end first. What do you think is really going to save Vegas and keep it afloat, given that something terrible is going to happen? There's going to be an economic downturn. There's also let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. There's a thing. That's a picture of a thing that we're not going to mention by name in the live chat or anywhere else. We're not going to discuss that. It's in that place. It's not a big deal. As far as I know from the doctors I've spoken to, not a big deal. But there's a thing there. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to the ruins.
Okay, yeah. So I think what will really set Vegas up for a few more years of relative safety is if they finish some projects.
Which projects do you think,
whether
really?
it's...
Which projects do you think, really?
Well, I think when the Raiders Stadium opens, that's going to add a bit of a boost and bring in some people who wouldn't normally come there. Vegas is really becoming, I'm not into esports, but for real sports, it's really becoming a destination with some really good teams, whether it's the Golden Knights or some of the other teams that are out there, and then the Raiders coming to town and having to show that they're worth the money that's being spent. That's going to add an additional flavor to the Strip and to Vegas itself. I think they need to finish or stop restarting some of the hotel projects up between Fashion Show and Strat. The Strat rebuild and the Sahara rebrand and refurbishing will probably help a little bit. Maybe stretch people out further along the Strip and further away from Center Strip. And I think they're going to have to make those properties of value, as well as an entertainment draw. If they can do that, it'll expand the opportunities. You won't have to, pick your MGM property or pick your Caesars property and stick to that. People will start getting out. They'll start getting down to Fremont Street, as we were talking about in the chat.
Right.
And I think if they can get that and stop, we have to ask this again in 5 years when something else happens.
Right. Okay, well, that said, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the live chat, see what everybody says. So let's go ahead and start with We Run Las Vegas. We Run Las Vegas. Team up with the YouTubers. That's an interesting thing. And actually, I'm not sure if he made it in here. Steven from Not Leaving Las Vegas. He's the official Canadian bad boy Vegas YouTuber. If you guys ever get a chance to go ahead and check him out, we'll go ahead and make sure that we get some links over to him a little later on. But no, he was talking about that in a video today. I had a little discussion with him in the comment section. Like, you know what? I had heard Cosmo was kind of blogger friendly and vlogger friendly, but he actually corrected me. Oh, excuse me, I almost belched into the mic. I'm so sorry. This mojito is killing me. Super rude, my bad. But no, what he was telling me is that he had reached out to a few of the major hotels and chains and all that, and they said that while they do have social media, vlogging is not part of the plan, and they kind of pushed him off. And I think that's gonna hurt him in the long run, especially since, I mean, what I do, what let's say Steven does, Jacob, Danny702 used to do, Hagen 2 Cent, Mark Anderson, Anastas, lots of great guys. Like, Vegas tubing is such a huge community now, and it's a great community, I think, because unlike some other stuff, I'm not sure if you guys remember, I used to do Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, the super OG fans will remember that I was a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber way back in the day, and that community is pretty toxic. It's actually pretty hurtful at times, and it's very cliquey, whereas Vegas, not so much. People love to meet up. They love to hang out together. They're like, hey, bro, you want to go ahead and do a crossover? I have like 100 fans. You have like 20,000. I don't care. You want to do a crossover? We're in town. Let's get beer. Cool. And it's a lot more encouraging, it's a lot more inclusive, and it's a better place to be. And just to see that, and what we do is just, we're gonna we're just kind of building up the casinos, and the casinos, they're taking that for granted right now. And I think if they lean more into that, people will be like, well, maybe the casinos aren't that evil. Maybe let's go ahead and give some 6-5 blackjack a shot. What's the worst that's going to happen? And not to say that we're going to lead anybody into the fire, but I feel like if casinos seemed a bit more, a bit friendlier and a bit more inclusive and seemed a bit more open and transparent, that would make new buyers, especially on the Gen X side and the millennial side and the upcoming Gen Z side, I think that would be a really good thing for them just to secure business in the future. So yeah, I think we run Las Vegas as a point there. And what else? Yeah. No, go ahead.
And on top of that, I think that you're probably not going to see MGM or Caesars lead with that. I think you're going to find a standalone property, or maybe a 2-property chain, as it were. Binions, Four Queens might do something like that. And if they tie in with the YouTubers and tie in with blogs and tie in with things like that and start seeing the benefits, and the big chains start seeing the effect of that, they're going to start noticing that, because it's usually not the big companies that innovate so much as the small companies, and the big companies have to take that into account.
Right, they start working from there. Let's see what Justin's got over here. Justin doesn't think that Vegas needs to be saved. It will simply adapt. It always has before anyway, which makes sense. That makes sense.
It's not going away, at least until the ice caps melt.
Right.
But I think there are, the culture has changed even over the 10 years I've been going, and the value proposition has changed. So I think they have to adjust, or they're going to see a much different attendance demographic.
Yeah, and definitely going to see some lower profits too, I think. Let's see. Otherwise, and back into that too. Slick Spade, Vegas needs to bring back more free comps. Right there with you. I would love to see looser comps. Caesars is apparently still doing really, really well with that out of the main properties on the Strip. Caesars, or El Dorado now, I should say, excuse me. I understand they're doing really great with that.
Not yet.
All right, in progress, I'm from the future. I'm a Time Lord. I've been there. I've been in your group 18 months, man. So, all right. What about Dave? Dave from Canada. I'm in Canada, and with our weak dollar, our airline makes the resort fee optional. That is a bonus. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe teaming up more with I think Vegas has always kind of teamed up with airlines, though, right? Or the city has, at least.
Well, I think they brought them in, and they've got some of the cheaper ones, the Frontier, the Allegiant. Southwest has done a lot of Vegas vacations for a long time. The smaller airlines, relatively smaller, have done a bit of that. And I think if they do tie in with the resort fees, get rid of the resort fees, tie them in with a vacation package, that could help.
All right, that's some good stuff there. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Rob Groundwater, MGM Sphere, so what you were talking about a little earlier, or the MGS Sphere, whatever they're calling it. You know the one.
MSG.
Yeah. The MSG Sphere, so that one. Yeah, Madison Square Sphere.
Technically, the MGM Sphere is called T-Mobile Arena.
True. Yeah, so there's that. So yeah, I guess places like that just to keep people coming in. Dan's got a good one. An NBA team. Now that they've got a football team, the next natural step is to get a Major League Basketball team, and then maybe a Major League Baseball team. Maybe turn the Area 51s into a Major League team if there's an expansion. Because I'd definitely fly out. I'd fly out there for a basketball game. I'd fly out there to go see the Knicks or the Nuggets play against the Las Vegas Showgirls. I don't even know what they call them.
That might not work too well.
I don't think because their WNBA team is called the Aces. So maybe I don't know. You can't call them the Blackjacks. I don't know. You can't call. The Las Vegas Roulettes. That also sounds kind of like a showgirl troupe.
Yeah, kind of has that French thing going for it.
We'll workshop that one. We'll workshop that one. Let's drop your basketball team names in the comment section below, by the way, guys. Especially if you're watching the replay. Las Vegas Gamblers, that's another one. High Rollers, the Las Vegas High Rollers. That
could work. That'd go well with the Golden Knights and the 2-word names.
Nice. Write that down. Tell Link they can't have it anymore. NBA
team. That could be interesting. Go to a UNLV business administration sporting event.
Yeah, so that'd
I
be
know
good.
he means NBA, but that would be kind of interesting to tie more in with the university.
Oh, that's another thought too. Oh, Justin's got a good one too, bringing back the mega resorts themes too. Like, actually, there was something Justin and I were talking about offline pretty recently too. How different Luxor looks and how cool Luxor was. Like, if you ever saw that
Hmm.
sketch on Robot Chicken where they have like the Lego pyramid and the pharaohs there talking about things, and they open up, then they keep screwing up the pyramid, getting into the space Legos, and the whole joke at the end of it is, they kill the pharaoh by dropping him into some hole or whatever, and then the slave master says, "Welcome to the funky space pyramid of the people." That's exactly what Luxor was. It was the funky space pyramid of the people, and just reading the documentary or watching the documentary from the 90s was amazing, and it also cripplingly depressed me because the Luxor used to be so cool, and then they took out all this cool funky space Egypt theming and all that, and I'm like, this is like the coolest thing. It's kind of back with the esports, and I think esports is also mentioned a couple times here in the comment section. Not ignoring you guys, there's just a
Yeah.
lot of comments right now, by the way. Thank you, keep commenting. We'll do our best to get through as many as we can. But yeah, with the esports, they're kind of bringing that idea back, but just it's still kind of a shell of its former self. It should be a lot cooler. It's a giant freaking pyramid, and they're not leveraging that, and it's such a shame. Such a shame.
Yeah. One thing I can tell you, this is kind of off topic, but it'll give you a chance to have a sip of your beverage of choice.
Yeah, definitely going to.
I was in, I was staying, I think I was staying in Delano facing Luxor or something like that, and I was watching the lights on the corners.
Mm.
And once you see this, you will not be able to unsee it, but it's not a continuous light flow. There's like little segments that go back and forth. And if you don't pay attention, it looks like the light goes all the way to the top and all the way back down, like a rope light,
Right.
but it doesn't. And that bugged the heck out of me when I started seeing it because I could see it go up and down. It's kind of like a GIF on Facebook that doesn't smoothly loop. Once you see it, it just ruins it for you. And that happened to me for Luxor for the corner lights.
Oh, now I can never
I might
actually
be
go
the
back to
only.
Luxor and look at that. Dang it.
And yeah, Justin, I'm with you on that. I saw the pirate show probably 7 years ago, and I kind of missed that. It was kind of hokey, but it was unique, and it drew people to that end of the strip. Uh, I remember walking down there from the Westin where I used to stay when I worked for a very family-friendly company, and I think they've still got most of the stuff there, so they could bring it back in theory, couldn't they?
Yeah, they could clean it back up. I mean, it's just a question of, well, they should refresh the rooms and make them either all modern but a lot of the architecture is still there, so it's just a question of bringing props back in, really.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see, we got
Maybe
another.
after we buy an NBA team, we can do another GoFundMe and do that.
We're on it. We're on it. We will totally go in there. Tip in the tip jar down there below, so I can buy Luxor and bring back the good stuff in the description box. There's that PayPal for Ace of Vegas. Do it. Anyway, though, let me get one more. Nate and Jess from Epic Travels. They got a good one for us. Vegas should try to bringing more families in if there's a downturn. See, part of me is like, yeah, there's some stuff for kids to do there. You guys know I'm a little more anti-kid in Vegas, and that's just, well, even as a father, I'm pretty anti-kid in Vegas, and that's just because I like to kind of. I shouldn't. And
Uh-oh.
there's always this moral dilemma. I don't feel like I'm having quite as much fun. I like the idea of having but like having a very controlled environment, and that's kind of my thing there. And Ray was even bringing
Yeah.
up the esports to kind of appeal to a younger crowd too, and I think that'll be a good thing there, just to just get the 21 and up crowd, especially since skill gaming is so popular right now. Like Pokemon, actually, they just went into their 2020 year of VGC, and they have these huge world tournaments with these huge cash prizes, like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 for you to sit down and play a Game Boy game. Like
That's insane.
I've been playing it for free for 20 years.
Hmm.
I'm still playing it with my daughter now for free for 20 years. And there are these guys out here running around making $10,000 at tournaments, and I'm like, dang, it's good stuff. So that's definitely going
Yeah.
to be a big thing, and I think that'll be good for. I think if there was a way to kind of split it all off and kind of maybe split it, I don't know, maybe just make it a little more sectioned off. Like you could have a nice little family section, and there could be certain places that are going to be more adult oriented. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that there's room for that. You're not going to see that a lot on the Strip, although there are some hotels that are more friendly for kids and families than others. Wynn had a reputation for not being family friendly at all.
Right.
Signs about banning strollers back in the day and so forth. But I think there's enough hotels, there's enough properties, and there's enough space in Vegas that there's room for families and there's room for people who don't want to be around anybody under 20 or under 30 or under 50 or
Right.
whatever. And maybe Vegas needs to, I don't want them to change their slogan again. They're not good at that.
Oh, God. I don't mind the new slogan. It's not wrong. It's not good, but it's not wrong.
Yeah. It's not like Vegas, where else are you going to go?
Right.
Not that bad. But I think if they did more of the promotion of the family-friendly stuff, there's a lot of Facebook groups out there that do this. But I think if Vegas really promoted that more, tour guides, tours, websites, things like that, to really bring people in and tell them where it makes sense for them to go and where it makes sense for them not to go.
Yeah.
You're not going to take your 2-year-old to Guy Savoy. But there's a lot of great places.
You'd be surprised. I don't know. I always hate seeing that. Like Nate and Jess even mentioned it in the comments over here. The past trip, I saw a lot of new parents when I visited Vegas with infants and toddlers. Yeah, I hate that. Like, there's so much cigarette smoke.
Bad.
There's so much cigarette smoke out there. Like the temperatures fluctuate. Like it was December. And I think it was like 35 or 40 degrees. They had those babies out there without coats. And I was looking at the wife, and we're just kind of staring. We're like, I mean, it's Vegas, so we're not going to do anything. But at the same time, we're like, y'all are awful. It was just like,
Although,
if you're going to take the kids, dress them properly. That's it.
Yeah. I got to say, if you want a selfie to go viral, have your 1-year-old between the showgirls and put that up on the internet. That's going to go crazy. That's going to take over Reddit.
You hear that, Rerun Vegas? That's the tip you guys really need to do. Go ahead and get a 1-year-old in between the showgirls. That's the way to do it. Thanks again for dropping that super chat. Thank you so much. That's gonna get us that. All right, so that's the portion of the Luxor fund over there. So don't forget to donate to the Luxor fund, guys. We're gonna buy it. MGM selling everything. We're gonna buy it. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, man. Okay, I think we're coming up on the bottom of the hour, so we'll probably do some final thoughts on this. Rob, what's your final thought on this, brother?
You can never have too many hats, coats, and shoes.
Fair enough. Very true. As far as saving Vegas, though, I think really...
Yeah.
The topless Krispy Kreme. There you go. That's a good one. Dan's got a great one down there. Topless Krispy Kreme donut place that will solve all the financial problems. It's got a good brand. Getting people to these other properties, giving them the option to have all these things over here. I think that's a great place, and definitely focusing on skill gaming. Like making Vegas a lot more about not necessarily what you're presenting yourself as, not necessarily what you can buy, but what you like, who you can defeat. I think that's a really good thing, especially if you're looking for competitive guys, like high rollers that are going to come in there with a lot of money. That's what it's about. It's not about the money. It's about David versus Goliath. That's what, guys like me and guys like the really high rollers. I'm not saying I'm a high roller, but competitive guys like. I was, before this, I was a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Before this, I was a Super Smash Brothers player. Before this, I was an aspiring Pokemon master. Like, I'm a competitive gamer. That's just how it's always been. And if you want to get those sorts of people in there that are really, really hyped about getting because they need to fix gaming there. It's nice to go ahead and get resorts going, spas going. Like, anytime I'm there, MGM or Wynn or whoever, they're guaranteed to get $200 out of me because I'm going to go ahead and send my spouse to the spa, whatever, so I can go ahead and play some blackjack or whatever. But make it work for people that even though they wouldn't win, they'd probably feel better about it if it was back then. Just hitting the internet, getting it's the information age right now. Take advantage of those channels, communicate, and be transparent. That's my final thought on it.
Nate and Jess have a great idea there. Sort of like a Disneyland style annual pass
Yeah, that'd be great too.
And
Yeah, something to encourage people to come back. Like, make it seem like they're worth it. Bring back some value propositions. Yeah, make things seem like it's worth it, if nothing else.
and maybe even do something where, Caesars does this. They have these promos 2 or 3 times a year where if you spend $25 on food, $25 in a machine, $25 at a bar, you get bonus points, and they add up to additional tier credits or reward credits. If MGM were to do something like that, credits or express comps or whatever,
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
and improve.
So, all right, guys. Well, I think that's about it. We hit the bottom of the hour. I think this has been a pretty good podcast here. We got some good stuff. Had some great conversations rolling here. Once again, wanted to go ahead and thank Robert for dropping by from the Wynn Slots Tips and Tricks group. Robert, you got anything else that you wanted to go ahead and pass out? Definitely go ahead and pass out that social media too, man. Let everybody know all the great stuff you do.
Yep. So I blog at Ristus11, rsts11.com, and rsts11travel.com. I need to get back to writing a bit more this year. It's been a couple of months, but a lot of travel tips, power, coffee, loyalty programs, things like that. Yep, you got it right.
All
Good
right,
job.
nice.
And we're coming up on, what is it, VI Apocalypse 3
Yeah,
in
I think this
3D.
was 3.0, yeah.
In the next 24 hours, actually probably 22 hours now. So check out the group if you're playing and trying to make the most of it. I got to say it, read the frequently asked questions or the frequently answered questions. Almost everything is there.
The Dictator group
I am
is
on
the
YouTube.
best group.
Yep. Not the Dictator group. It's that'll send them to the wrong place.
No, I was going to say, because
I am on YouTube.
There you go.
But we run Vegas. I put the link in earlier. I'll share it again in a bit here, but I think Ace will put that in the description as well. I've got like 2 videos up there right now. Maybe I'll move my bouncing Tigger doll video over there, so I'll have a lucky 3.
Little more content there, just for just for the other half. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, good deal, guys.
You're welcome, Pop Up.
Yeah, Pop Up's the guy. Yeah, he's huge supporter too. He actually got picking me up like 30 or 40 subscribers in a day. That guy's awesome. One post.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, guys. Well, in that case, then, I think we're ready to wind it down. So I wanted to thank everybody for coming through. Also wanted to thank you once again for 4,000 subscribers. If you haven't already checked out the group in the description box below, check out Wynn Slots Tips and Tricks, and also check out the new official Ace of Vegas Facebook group in the description box below when you have the time available, and come say hi to us. So until then, this is Ace of Vegas and Robert signing out, wishing you guys strong hands, and of course, happy spinning, you guys. All right, and good night, everybody.